Good morning. Bit of a slow start. It's 6:30 already. I ended up cycling until sometime past 11 p.m. last night. It got so dark and I was so tired. I started nodding off behind the handlebars. I realized I need to stop and rest because I can't keep going like that. And the battery on my light is also starting to fade, my headlamp. So without a light I wouldn't get very far on this road. So I found this little spot that I'm in now. I don't even know what it is. It's just a piece of hard ground next to the road. I figured that most drivers don't pay attention to dark objects next to the road. On this piece of road they just fly past, and they won't even notice me if I'm a little back from the road, always back. So I pitched the tent in the dark, didn't even tie it down. The ground is so hard, and not that I even tried. I was so tired and fell asleep immediately. Like as soon as my head hit the pillow, I was out. Oh, speaking of pillow, my pillow is my inflatable mattress. Even though the ground's hard, I decided not to inflate it because I was just dead on my feet. So I used it as a pillow and just used the sleeping bag on the ground itself. And even though it was hard, it was probably a better sleep than I had at the golf course the night before. So all in all, not a bad camp. I need to get up now and cook dinner, but also want to wait a bit for all the condensation and the dew to evaporate so that the tent's not as wet. Look at this. I don't know if you can see this whole section of lighter part is condensation between the two sheets. So I have the inner sheet, obviously, the mesh at the top, and then the outer rain cover part, and in between the water is accumulating. So I want to air it out if I can, but we'll see. And I need to cook breakfast before I leave. I'm just so hungry. I realized that, so yesterday afternoon I ate some buns that I bought at the local convenience store at the petrol station. I had like these 6 buns with raisins in it and a half liter of milk, which was like 22 rand or something. And I ate that, and because I ate it so late, I wasn't hungry at the beginning of the cycle session. And by the time I was setting up the tent, I was just too tired to care. So I didn't eat last night really, and that's why I'm so hungry now. So I'll eat now before I set out again to sustain and keep going. Yeah, so the plan is to head to Middelburg. It's about 50 k's away, and I have a place to sleep there. Someone offered me the couch, and I can have a rest day and do some more editing and try and sort out the YouTube thing so that I can upload those videos. And then once that's sorted, I can keep going on from there. So yeah, let's get going. Let's have a look outside. Sun rising over there. Open space. I couldn't see last night if it's someone's property or not, but there's nothing here, so I figured I'd be fine. Yeah, let's get out and show you the rest. I just put the silverback over there, right at the tent opening and I slipped with my head on this side, which isn't usually ideal considering that there's a slight slope, but I did it so that if there's noise around the bicycle, I'll hear it and I can wake up. And yeah, so road's just there, but because of those little hill things, I figured they won't even notice this tent in the dark. And no one did, obviously, because no one stopped and said hello. So yeah, that's the view. It's not a bad view. I came up there, that bridge that's so full of trucks and cars and stuff. There was not a single car on that bridge or anywhere on any of these roads for maybe one every hour or one every half an hour. So it was really secluded. But this road as well, I mean, the bridge is busy, but this road has no traffic. It's like one car every other, I guess 10 or so minutes maybe. And but last night there was even less, so go figure. But I'm on the top of the hill, and coming down is decline from there. So when I go that way, I'll take a proper decline, a proper downhill. And I didn't want to do that in the dark when I was so tired, because you need to focus on those downhills. So yeah, I think I'm gonna cook something and then pack up. I hurt my thumb. That's very good. Let's fix that quickly. Okay, good to go. Someone's flying a microlight in the vicinity. That's kind of cool. Must be like a private airstrip or something nearby. Always reminds me of that movie Fly Away Home. Anyway. Guys, I am so happy now. I was rummaging through the bag looking for something to clean the pan with, and lo and behold, I found an SD card I tucked in the front pocket of the backpack ages ago, and I thought it was in the other bag that I left behind with my hard drives and the other SD card and flash drive, etc. And turns out I didn't leave it behind. I have one with me that I can put in my phone, which solves my memory problem, so I don't have to start up the laptop every night to dump the video content on there. So that is excellent. I'm so happy now. It's small things that give you pleasure on this trip, I've noticed. Little accomplishments and little highlights or lucky breaks that you get that just brightens your day up, because you're mostly just tired, I think, when you're cycling. When you're cycling, you're thinking about, why is this planet exactly in that point of the universe type of crap. But other than that, you're tired. That's the two things you experience, is deep thoughts and being very tired. And then when you find something like this, it just completely uplifts you. You have to kind of embrace it, because if you don't embrace those little things, you won't make it very far. So speaking of embracing little things, there's a little bird. I'm sure you can hear it. It's sitting right there on that little anthill, and it's singing to one that's responding from somewhere over there. I'm not sure where exactly, but I keep hearing it responding. So I'm curious whether that's like a mating call or they're just glad to see the sunrise. Who knows? Anyway, let's get back to cooking. friends over there where I could spend a few nights to recover from the sunburn. At this point, my hands were starting to form blisters from severe sunburn, and it was very painful. So I set out on the old road through the Bitbank area, and it's renamed Emalasheni. So I set off on that road because I couldn't take the highway that went straight to Middelburg. And on that road, it passes through a township, and they were actually in the middle of a protest where the road was blocked with burnt garbage and tires and stuff on the one end of the town, and on the other they had like concrete stones and stuff in the road to block cars from coming in and out. It was quite an experience coming through there. I was threatened they were going to take my bicycle, but I just kept going, kept my head down, and luckily made it through without incident. And the reason for the protest was because of jobs, so it actually had nothing to do with me or anything I stood for. So I just kept going, and I was fine. That being said, coming through that entire area was not the most pleasant experience, and I would not recommend it on a bicycle at all. It's not just the protest itself, but the entire area. It's not bicycle friendly. There's places where I had to stop and lift the bike up, carry it over, just to get back on the sidewalk and the bridges and stuff, and it's very unsafe. Cars kept very close to me in the past where I had to be in the road, and all in all, it's just a very unpleasant experience, which I wouldn't recommend. So if there's a way to go around that, definitely rather do that. But yeah, like I said, I made it through. I reached Middelburg, early afternoon, late afternoon, sometime in the middle there, and obviously got to take a nice warm shower and rest up a bit and treat the sunburn, which was a really big issue at that point. So I intend to set off again tomorrow morning. I might not have internet access for a few days once I leave Middelburg. I'm heading southeast, and there's a few towns along the way that might have signal, but in between I won't have any. So hopefully when I get to those towns, one of them might have a library where I can sit and work again for a day and get those videos posted. So yeah, I'll see how that goes, and then if I do post a video, I'll obviously keep you updated with progress and what happened in between. So until then, catch you on the flip side.